Liverpool, of course, are attempting to retain the European Cup, which they've won 4 times. They took a useful step towards the semi-final in the opening leg by drawing 1-1 in Vienna. And remember, it's now 11 seasons since they lost a European match at Anfield. Our commentator up there is John Motson.
Steve Nicholls' goal a fortnight ago in Vienna was his first in Europe and Liverpool's 150th in the Champions Cup alone. It means the holders start this second leg knowing a 0-0 draw would suffice, but Liverpool will undoubtedly go for a victory with the same team which played in Austria. Kenny Dalglish is completing a 3-match European suspension, so the number 7 shirt is worn by Paul Walsh, who played well in that first leg. Injuries force FK Austria to make 2 changes. Zorre comes in at number 6 and may have to mark Ian Rush. Daxbacher was brought in this morning. Number 9, Tony Polster, was their scorer in the first match, and there are 2 international captains there. Herbert Prohaska, the Austrian captain, he's number 8, and the captain of Hungary, Tibor Nilosi, he'll be wearing number 10. A return to Anfield for Paolo Bergamo of Italy, who refereed the match against Bilbao here last season. And a return to England for FK Austria in white. They lost at Tottenham in last season's UEFA Cup and recently made a short tour here. And already a great chance for Walk, and it's going to come to Walsh now. Consiglio, the veteran goalkeeper, having to make a save in the opening seconds from John Walk. Steinkogler comes away. Prohaska, Steinkogler through the centre, could be dangerous. Dihanich. And off MacDonald for the first corner to FK Austria. Now, how many men, I wonder, will they risk for these set pieces? Polster's certainly in there, and 2 others waiting to come from behind him. But nobody's gone into the 6-yard box for the Austrians. And Polster with the header, and knocked away from the line by Ronnie Whelan. Baumeister. Well, there wasn't much of a challenge on Tony Polster. He got a header firmly past Grobbelaar, but that's why Ronnie Whelan stands there to knock it away. Here's Hansen. And again, Kennedy seeing his chance to get forward. Good ball. And Walsh! Beautifully taken and beautifully made. A fine goal for Liverpool. After 16 minutes, Alan Kennedy, the extra man in attack, how well he timed the run, how well he delivered the cross, and Paul Walsh, a brave header, although in fact the defender didn't get near enough to challenge when you see it again. Walsh, who played well in Vienna, now puts Liverpool ahead thanks to Kennedy's cross in the tie. 2-1 on aggregate. Baumeister. That hasn't done as much damage to FK Austria as you might expect, because they had to score in the match at some stage, and now if they scored, there could even be extra time. Here's Prohaska to De Georgi. So in one way, their task is no more difficult, the Austrians, than it was before that goal arrived. But Liverpool will be very pleased to get it under their belts. Polster. Good effort! My word, that was a good shot. This is the top scorer in Austrian football this season. 21-year-old Tony Polster, who scored in the first match with a superb shot and produced something there unexpectedly, which Grobbelaar dealt with supremely well. It was a fine stop too. Polster. And Baumeister's made a run through the centre here. Nilosi would have been offside had the ball gone through. Back heel is by John Walk to Kevin MacDonald. Rush is making a run to the right. Nicholls gone through the middle. And have they they've got Walsh in again. There's space to be found here on the flanks, and that pass cutting out the fullback, driven wide by Paul Walsh. Looking for his second. Oh, Nielasch got a touch on that to Steinkogler. Polster's coming in from the far side, and Grobbelaar will have to be quick. And did he bring Polster down? Nothing's been given. Well, the Austrians now have looked dangerous on 3 occasions. And here they are again. Nielasch threatening this time. And Liverpool, as if they didn't know already, well aware now of what the threat could be on the counter-attack. Just over halfway through the first half, Liverpool lead 1-0, but there have been 3 opportunities at the other end. Here's Walsh. McDonald needed a flick on from Whelan. Oh, McDonald went past the sweeper, but not past the covering player, who was Dihani. And here he is again. And onside, but couldn't reach it. Well, Steinkogler's shot, Grobbelaar's parry, it went loose. Polster came in with Hansen. Now, was there contact there with the goalkeeper? The Austrians appealed and got nothing. Steinkogler was the man whose shot caused it. Alan Kennedy's made another long run down the left-hand side. Where he's combining well with Whelan. Header was by Zorre. That could prove an opportunist moment for Prohaska, but there was a foul in the centre circle. Baumeister was the man brought down. But here's Prohaska again. Polster. Oh, lovely back heel, Prohaska's in. Oh, not the finishing you would associate with a world-class player. And a lovely touch from Polster, who's becoming the star of the first half here, certainly for the Austrians. That was a super flick, and it put in one of the most experienced players in the European game, Herbert Prohaska, who checked, took his time, and then screwed his shot horribly wide. So they must feel now they've had 4 chances. This is Walsh. This is Lawrenson. Beautifully taken down. Mark of a quality player, that. So is that. And the pass was too. Walsh looking for Whelan. Overmyer with the clearance. Both these Liverpool centre-backs are so smooth in possession. Trying to get Whelan in. Chance. Pulled back. Oh, Nicol! To Liverpool, and they've exposed the Austrians on the flanks again. Nicol got on the end of it, but Whelan made it. 38 minutes gone, and the European champions have a 2-goal lead. So much space on the left-hand side. Alan Hansen coming forward. They appealed for offside, not given. Whelan got down, drilled it across. Rush didn't make it, Nicol did. So Nicol, who scored in the first leg, is on the mark again for Liverpool. What a relief that is to the Kop, because between the 2 Liverpool goals, the Austrians played some sweet and subtle football and were dangerous. cannot now be extra time tonight. The only way they could have been was if the score was going to be 1-1 at the end of 90 minutes. But Liverpool have a 2-goal lead on the night and on aggregate. Here's Rush. And Neal. Oh, he still got it through. Rush off. Liverpool captain Phil Neal engineering the attack on the right. Not the best of Ian Rush there by any means. He finally collected from Phil Neal, but then made a mess of it, rather. Steinkogler into Duxbacher. That's Kennedy warding off Polster. Rush. Whelan inside. Kennedy still running. Still running. Offside. That was one of the most interesting 45 minutes of European football I think I've ever seen. A quality and a finesse worthy of the European Cup. Paul Walsh put a crisp and confident Liverpool into the lead. Steve Nicol got a second. They might have had 3 or 4 more, but if they were powerful in the way they drove on, FK Austria were cunning on the counter and might have had 2 or 3 themselves. But at half-time, Liverpool have an aggregate lead of 3-1 and are 2 goals clear. Well, it's 30 years this year since the European Cup started. Sporting Lisbon and Partizan Belgrade played the very first match in 1955. And those pioneers, like the Frenchman Gabriel Hano, would have been proud of the football we saw here in the first half. And Rush could do even better in the second. And an own goal by Overmaier. He could do nothing about it. He put it over his own goalkeeper's head after Ian Rush had turned the screw. 25 seconds into the second half, and Overmaier just found Consilia coming out and put it past him. 3-0 to Liverpool. Surely the tie is won. But this was what the European Cup was supposed to be about. Incident, football played in a cavalier style, but with the accent on quality. Liverpool provided plenty of that in the first half. So did the Austrians, but it's the English team, the holders, who've now taken what appears to be a very secure grip on this quarter-final. (3-0) on the night, on the aggregate, 4-1. Here's Hansen. Whelan. Handball by Rush. Consilia could do nothing about it. He was on his way out to try and meet Rush's attempt, and Obermeier's lob just found him in no man's land. The Austrians wanting to make a substitution. They're going to take off the number 6, Zorre, who in fact has been doing a marking job but has also been injured, and they're going to replace him at this stage in the second half with the number 13, Fritz Dratzan. Dratzan, nicely done. He's got Steinkogler to his left. There are 2 the other way, and the interception is by Lawrenson. De Georgi. Polster. Dihanich. Nilashi. This is Kennedy. To Rush. Dihanich's tackle. Prohaska who profited. Now Nilashi. And Polster. Good play again. And Nilashi in the centre. Dratsen's there as well. Liverpool still finding they've got some work to do. Rush. It could go right now. Neil. Nicol. Oh, there are two on the left unmarked. Can he see them from there, I wonder? Or can Walk? Let's close up a little bit now. Here's Neil. Oh, Duxbacher doing rather better than Obermeyer did. It's a corner. 10 minutes into the second half. Taken short to Kennedy. There's Walk looking for Rush. Duxbacher again. And there's Walsh. Oh! Sweet as you like on the volley from Paul Walsh. Duxbacher knows it's his fault, really. But in Europe, when you make that sort of mistake, you expect to get punished. And conclusively so, courtesy of Paul Walsh here. Duxbacher with an overhead attempted clearance that went nowhere, really, in his terms. And Walsh waited for it to come down, and look at that off the outside of the foot. 56 minutes gone. Liverpool lead 4-0, and Walsh has 2. Who needs Dalglish? And McDonald has gone down injured. On a serious note, Kenny Dalglish will be available for the semi-final, and it's there that Liverpool are now going. Steinkogler. Prohaska. Nilashi. Nilashi again. On to Baumeister. Dratsan. Steinkogler. Appeal for handball. It's been given. Right on the edge of the area, this free kick to FK. We've seen Polster try and fire. I'm just wondering if Prohaska might fancy a curler from here. Prohaska. Oh, it's in. FK Austria get a goal back after 63 minutes, and it was time Prohaska took a free kick. He's noted for them, and he hadn't until then really taken responsibility, but it flew through and into the far corner. So 4-1 is Liverpool's lead on the night. 5-2 is the aggregate score. Here's Rush. Dihanich was left on the ground by Ian Rush, and the Austrian players are furious. Quite why that had to happen when the score is 4-1, I just don't know. He'll get the yellow card. He's got the yellow card, Ian Rush. to cross there and put the foot in. Ian Rush. That, without doubt, deserved the yellow card. And they're doing the number 2 as if they feel he overplayed it, but it looked to be contact to me. Prohaska. Steinkogler again making one of those runs inside, leaving the room on the left for the overlap. There are 4 players in the centre, and it nearly came to Polster. Well, it's certainly unpredictable, this match. All sorts of incident. Kennedy. Donald. This is Lawrenson. And Whelan, and on to Kennedy. Oh, he pulled it back when they were all going the other way. And that's put his team up against it for a moment. Prohaska. Hansen with Nilashi. Alan Kennedy quite happy to take the ball back again, though. Whelan. McDonald walks off through the middle. Saved by the knees of Consilia. Good stop by the veteran. Well, one was expecting John Walk to add at some point to his impressive European tally. He got in behind the defender there, but the goalkeeper blocked it with his left knee. Rush. Here's Nicol. Oh, that's some good play by Steve Nicol. Penalty! Brought down inside the area. Baumeister coming across, and Steve Nicol going down. And he hasn't yet got up. He dribbled his way through, and that looked a cynical challenge to me. And Nicol is hurt. Well, Grobbelaar has been known in his career to go forward and take a penalty. I think it was when he was with Crewe. And he obviously fancies his chances here, but I don't think they're going to give him the opportunity. I think they must have asked Paul Walsh as well, because he's on a hat-trick, and although John Walk put the ball on the spot and shaped to take it, Paul Walsh is being given the opportunity to complete the hat-trick. But misses. Well, perhaps Grobbelaar should have taken it. Rolled it wide of the post, and if it had been going in, the keeper might have made it. Ten minutes to go. Liverpool still in a handsome position here. McDonald. Walsh. Nicely done. Hansen. Lawrenson. And Walsh. Oh, Consilia was there. This goalkeeper's got a few unhappy memories of playing in England. He was on the receiving end of a 7-0 beating for Austria at Wembley back in '73. But although he's been beaten 4 times tonight, he's also made some good saves. Liverpool march on to the semi-finals and towards what they hope might be their 5th European Champions Cup title. Paul Walsh, scorer of 2 goals after deputising for Dalglish. And Ian Rush at the thick of the action in more ways than one. Not tonight a goal scorer, although he forced the own goal. And Prohaska's team, who played well for periods in the first half, would admit that they met their match and more in Liverpool tonight. The European champions at this stage of the season look to me to be in good fettle.
Is on the cop of change, but 20